Hey guys, Blake here from Into Mobile, and today we're going to take a quick look at the LG G Flex. Now, this is probably one of the coolest phones that's ever been announced this year, and mainly because the LG G Flex lives up to its name in that it has a curved and flexible display. Now, it might not flex as much as you'd like to, but it certainly does live up to its name by being able to make this curved screen go all the way flat and return completely to its original form factor, which we'll do in a second. As you can see here, this is a 6-inch screen, so this is definitely a phablet. The screen is f***ing huge, so if you're really not looking for a huge display like this, you might want to look elsewhere, but this is still a very interesting device. So we're just going to jump into the hardware tour really quick. Outside of the huge display, it's a 720 OLED display, by the way. We have the front-facing camera, the proximity ambient light sensor, as well as the LED notification light, as well as the earpiece right here. Very simple and straightforward. LG logo at the bottom. They use the on-screen navigation, so no capacitive buttons. And yeah, that's about it. This the handset has many similarities to the G2, besides the fact that it's curved and a lot bigger. So let's go over onto this side of the phone. Right here you can see that there's almost nothing on the handset right here, besides there is a slot for the micro SIM card. And then going over to this side, we have a micro USB port right here for charging and syncing. There's your microphone for being on the phone, as well as the 3.5mm headphone jack. Now, if this ever does come to the US, because this is the Korean unit, it will not have this nifty little thing right here, which is probably useless to a lot of people unless you're in Korea. And right on this corner is it's actually an antenna for mobile TV. Other than that, going on to this side, there's absolutely nothing. And then at the very top, there's nothing again besides the noise canceling microphone. And just like the G2, it's very thin, and the sides are clean because most of everything is on the back side. LG chose to put their volume rocker and their power button on the G2, and they said that it's easier to handle no matter what hand you're on. And after using the G2 as my primary device for about two and a half months, I can agree. I'm actually completely used to this implementation. I like it a lot. But there are actually a couple differences between the two. As far as the design, it looks pretty simple and straightforward. Volume rocker above and below the power button, but instead of the ring, the LED ring around the power button like the G2, this entire power button is actually an LED. There's an LED underneath it, and it actually has some really cool features. Once you unlock it, there's the blue when it unlocks. You can actually, not sure if you can customize it just yet, I'll have to check into that, but there's some really cool features you can do when it comes into taking photos. And we'll get into that with the full review, so stay tuned for that. But this is basically the tried and true that we've seen in the G2. Moving forward, we have the 13 megapixel camera, LED flash right here, as well as the IR blaster. What about the inside? The inside, this is a pretty powerful device. We have a 2.26 gigahertz Snapdragon 800 processor. We have 2 gigs of RAM. We have NFC. What else do we have? 16 or 32 gigabytes of internal storage. There's no micro SD card slot, so you're going to be stuck with what you get. So if you need a lot of storage, you're probably going to want to go with 32. And we also have a 3500 milliamp battery that's curved. It's not necessarily flexible, but LG did tell us that it is curved, and they can fit more milliamp hours of the battery inside of it. It's stacked and curved, so they're fitting as much battery capacity as they could in such a thin device. And that's pretty much wraps it up. We just want to do a quick hardware tour, and so far we're really liking this phone. Again, it's not necessarily going to be the phone for everybody because it's a huge display, but I think it's a pretty solid phone, and we'll have more on this phone in our official review. So thanks for watching.